The Arizona Cardinals coast and sleepwalk through a Week 17 loss in embarrassing fashion to the Cincinnati Bengals. What does it mean, if anything? Let's discuss it.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily Arizona Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Cardinals, Alex Clancy here. Thanks for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen, part of the #1 sports podcast platform. Man, Cardinals lose again. There's a lot to unpack. More of the same, just looks different every single week. All the same. There were a couple positives. Trey McBride, Michael Wilson, a rookie defensive player, one maybe not that you would have thought going into the week. Does it change anything? It's the big question. We've got at least another week and a day before really starting to find out what this coaching staff is going to look like with Black Monday looming next week. What does it mean? Does anything change? We'll discuss it. But the Cardinals get embarrassed. They lose 37-14. Joe Burrow threw roughshod all over the Arizona Cardinals secondary, 300 passing yards. Ja'Marr Chase had 2 receiving touchdowns. Chase Brown ran for over 100 yards and had 2 rushing touchdowns. As I mentioned, he was the one that scared me most. This game started off not so great. The Cincinnati Bengals won the toss. They took the ball. They marched down. Ja'Marr Chase made 2 Arizona Cardinals defenders look very bad with missed tackles, scoring a touchdown. And that pretty much set the stage for the game. Jacoby Brissett had over 200 passing yards. A lot of it was in garbage time. The Cardinals had under 60 yards rushing. This is going back to what we saw pretty much after the bye week, save last week, with no real rush attack. Jacoby Brissett having to throw the ball 47 times, and the Cardinals trying to hold on for dear life. This was the most uninspired 4 quarters of football I've seen all year. Because what you could say about this team, even though it looked like some sort of satirical bad joke at times, was that they played hard. They played for JG. They're not giving up on anybody. They're not doing it. It wasn't incompetence. It was bad play. It was bad coaching at times, injuries, sure. But yesterday looked like they just didn't get off the plane. And I don't know if this is spelling the end to coaching staff. I don't know if this is spelling the end to Calais Campbell's career or, anything that we don't know yet. What we do know is they got absolutely punished by what would have been a playoff team if Joe Burrow stayed healthy. And the biggest thing that I was looking at yesterday's game, we talked about it last week, was Will Johnson. What can Will Johnson do against Ja'Marr Chase or T. Higgins? And what we saw was Will Johnson held his own. Okay, now there was a perfect ball placement and perfect physical reception from Ja'Marr Chase early in the game on that first touchdown drive. The Will Johnson was blanketing him. Like, it was great coverage. It was a better throw and better catch. It just was. Okay. He got called for, I think it was PI or defensive holding later in the game, but it was very clear that wherever Darren Hall was, that's where they were throwing the ball. Darren Hall got beat multiple times. Will Johnson looked pretty good. Okay. He's not going to make it into the positive segment, but he didn't look like a liability out there, which was good. The run game was non-existent. The pass game, by and large, was non-existent in the first half. I mean, they had a drive under 6 minutes that resulted in a Trey McBride touchdown after the game was well out of reach. But by and large, neither side of the ball looked even bad. Both sides of the ball looked inept. And that's unfortunate. Cardinals fall to 3-13. The Cleveland Browns did them a favor by beating the Steelers, so they leapfrogged Cleveland. They were still behind Tennessee by 0.01% strength of schedule-wise, which sucks because that would jump them up to 4, and who knows what's going to happen in Week 18, especially with, yesterday. I'm recording this before this game ended, but the Giants are up big on the Raiders, which would put the Giants at 3 wins going into the final week of the season. Unfortunately, and it's not unfortunate. I mean, it's just happenstance. And this isn't lazy. This isn't anything other than exactly what it is. This doesn't, okay, it's a different color to the same rainbow. It's a different color to the same crayon box. It's like, what did you think was going to happen? Did you think the Cardinals were going to go in there and beat Cincinnati convincingly? I didn't. I thought what was going to happen happened. Except I thought this game was going to be in the 20s or 30s. What I meant was both teams scoring that and not just one. So I was wrong. And I am sorry. Overall, this was not fun. This was not constructive. There were no real great takeaways. Michael Wilson had a big touchdown catch and run. Looked like he stepped out of bounds. Oh, well. Whoopsies. Trey McBride broke all sorts of single-season records for tight ends officially. He's less than 100 yards away from the all-time single-season tight end receiving yards lead. So we'll see if he plays in Week 18. We'll talk about that later in the week on who should play and who shouldn't. But this is exactly what I thought was going to happen, and it wasn't pretty. I think what I've really been watching and really trying to watch is Jacoby Brissett predominantly. It's like, okay, let's look into the lens of next season and if he should be the starter. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying it's the best case scenario. I'm saying it's far from the worst case. That's all. But it kind of makes my stomach do flipsies thinking that he would be the starter come week one. Flipsies not in a great way. Flipsies in like a yuck. You want a part of the team. Obviously, he's under contract. He'll be here. The problem is, it's not like you can just be like, oh, yeah, go grab one. Go grab a quarterback who's going to be better than Jacoby Brissett. I'm not in the camp, and I have not been, and I will not be in the camp of moving up to draft a quarterback or draft a quarterback if one falls to you in this draft. No. I'm not. So if it's either a rookie quarterback or Jacoby Brissett, I'm taking Jacoby Brissett. Happily. In those two instances. And then you figure out what you got, and in 2027, you know, depends on the coaching staff. Like so many things. This entire offseason hinges upon what Michael Bidwill wants to do with the coaching staff. Because if you fire the coaching staff, then maybe you do trade up in quarterback, even though I think it's a huge mistake. But what we saw yesterday was a team who's ready for Cancun. And it's not giving up on a coach. It's not giving up on themselves. It's not giving up on each other. It's not giving up on any of that. It's just this team is ready for the 2025 season to be over. And hell, I don't blame them. Does it change anything? Does this strengthen either side of the Jonathan Gannon comeback or get let go train? Obviously, it's not going to strengthen the side of his coming back, but does it change anything for the future, or has the future already been spoken on? We'll discuss it next. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. Today's episode of Locked On Cardinals brought to you by Bink Prize Picks. So Prize Picks makes the holiday season better, man. Bowl games, big basketball matchups, playoff pushes for other teams not named the Cardinals. It's all happening at once. And while we're all making choices every day, one of the most fun places to make the right call is Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the easiest way to get in on daily fantasy. You just pick more or less on at least 2 player projections, lock in your lineup, and you're in the game. It's simple, fast, and now available in 45 states, man. It's an added extra layer just to make everything more fun. You create a lineup that takes less than a minute, and the app makes the whole process smooth and intuitive. The early payout feature is a great bonus. When your lineup starts looking strong, you may get the option to cash out early. Like say you pick 4 or 5 touchdown scorers, and the first 3 hit, you're like, well, swipe, I'll cash out now. Make a little extra cheese. You don't have to wait all the way until the end to see if you can make your full payout. PrizePicks makes all of this so easy for you. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Please go to the YouTube channel, search Locked On Arizona Cardinals. Hit that subscribe button, man. Turn notifications on. You know, big dumb face. Did the Cardinal Squad show yesterday, following the game. Check that out. I did a 15-minute instant reaction show where I just kind of spew off the top of my dome what we just experienced, and we commiserate and try not to swear because swearing is bad on these things. I don't swear. I wanted to, but I don't. Does this change anything? No. Doesn't change anything. Let me ask you this. And this is either side. Either he's coming back or he's not. Jonathan Gannon specifically. I think it's, even though, we talked about there's a world where Drew Petzing could come back. Like, I just don't see it. Okay. So, I mean, I can make an argument for it. The strongest arguments you can make for your own side are being able to argue the other side as well. It strengthens everything. You knew already, in my opinion. We knew a month ago that Jonathan Gannon was either coming back or he wasn't. This doesn't, like, the strongest argument for that fact is, what if the Cardinals won by 20 today? Would that make you feel better about bringing Jonathan Gannon back next year because they won a meaningless game in December? No. Okay, so why would a loss? It's just a simple exercise. It's not rhetorical. It's not being combative or anything. It's like, if the Cardinals won this game, would you feel better about bringing Jonathan Gannon back? No. So why would a loss? And I understand that obviously losing compounds the already compounding snowball going downhill of negativity and dysfunction in between the lines. Like, totally get it. But if a win doesn't change it, why would a loss? If you knew already, why would a win or loss change it? And again, I completely understand. Well, obviously it makes them look worse because they lost. It's easier to stomach, even if they're not bringing him back if they want. It's like, well, maybe you bring him back. I think they know. And now there's conflicting reports. You've got Albert Breer saying he's got to win a couple games, and reports saying he's safe. It's like, nobody knows. Nobody knows. And this is above all. And I'm not saying that he should or should not come back. I did a podcast 2 weeks ago saying, all right, it's time. It's time to go. It's time to go. But this remains clear, in my humblest of opinions, on Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. Part of the number one podcast platform, sports podcast platform, in Locked On, is the only reason why there would be validation to bringing Jonathan Gannon back has remained unchanged. It's even strengthened over the last month. Injuries. So if you're bringing him back because the injuries overwhelmed to the point where you can't put together a competent game plan on either side of the ball for the majority of the season, that hasn't changed. It's actually strengthened to bring him back. Now, if you don't think you should bring him back for that, he should have been fired already. And I know, and I've even said, it doesn't help to bring somebody, to fire somebody mid-season. It just doesn't help anything to fire somebody mid-season. It just doesn't. It's not like, oh, now you're setting a precedent. It's like, no, let's just stop. But if the argument for bringing Jonathan Gannon back was injuries, it's strengthened, not weakened. So this loss, in fact, almost strengthens his stance to come back and not weaken it if Michael Bidwill decides you're running it back one more year because of the injuries. So that's a total brain twist. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not saying it's the right call. What I'm saying is today's loss could actually strengthen the thought of bringing Jonathan Gannon back, because the only way you're bringing him back is if you're giving him a reprieve because of the injuries. That's it. Now, if they're going to fire him. Like, obviously I'm not speaking flippantly on somebody's life and their job security. It's like overwhelmingly, the numbers say fire him. Obviously, we've been talking about this for months. Overwhelmingly. And I'm not championing one way or the other. Numbers-wise, he should be gone. For sure. Coaching-wise, in certain situations, it should be gone. But when you look at this year, if Michael Bidwill gave him the vote of confidence because it was a throwaway year due to injuries, this loss strengthens that and doesn't weaken it. It's just another Arizona Cardinals brain screw. So while you learn something from every game, win or loss, you saw positives and negatives from players on the field today. Couple gaffes. I mean, the second quarter, they had a minute and change left, 3 timeouts on their own 30, and you're running the ball between the tackles on first down, not calling a timeout. It's like, where's the urgency? The game was still in reach. There was 23-7. So where's the urgency? Throw the ball down the field. And then there's 2 penalties, and then there's a screen pass, and they punt. It's like, so in summation for this segment, I understand and would agree that Jonathan Gannon does not deserve to be head coach for the Arizona Cardinals in 2026. Numbers, stats, everything. Unless he's getting a reprieve because of all the injuries this year. And for that reason, if that's the main foundation by which he returns in 2026, that foundation strengthened after this loss and didn't weaken. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. The positives. Yay! It's going to be a short segment. We'll talk about it next. This episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by Gusto. Listen, I use Gusto, okay? I've had multiple jobs where I get paid through Gusto. And if you are an employer and you don't know what Gusto is, let's be real. No one starts a business for the joy of calculating tax withholdings or managing payroll spreadsheets, and that's where Gusto comes in, to take the stress out of payroll, benefits, and HR so you can focus on running your business and supporting your team. And Gusto is an all-in-one, remote-friendly payroll and HR platform that makes managing your team simple, transparent, and fast, whether you're hiring, onboarding, or paying employees. Gusto helps you with all of it without the hassle or hidden fees. Unlimited payroll runs for one monthly price, which means no surprise charges at the end of the month. Gusto's automated tools like offer letters, onboarding materials, and direct deposits save me hours. Every weekend, knowing you can reach certified HR experts anytime gives you real peace of mind. Try Gusto today at gusto.com/lockedonnfl to get 3 months free when you run your first payroll. That's right, 3 months of free payroll at gusto.com/lockedonnfl. One more time, that's gusto.com/lockedonnfl. YouTube channel, subscribe, notifications on. Almost at 5,000 subscribers, man. Thank you. I know this has been a tough year. I'm here for you. I am here for you. Oh, a little spoiler alert for those that think my background at home is orange. I've upgraded. It's being delivered today. I will be at home tomorrow, and I will have red, red, red just for you. Just for you hooligans who thought that my background was orange when, in fact, it was red. It'll be even more red and black. Positives. Trey McBride's really good at football. And I'm done with the show. I told you it was going to be quick. Trey McBride's really good. The crazy part about yesterday was like, of all the teams to really blanket Trey McBride, he was an afterthought in the first half. He was an afterthought for the majority of the game until, midway through the third and through the end of the game. But Trey McBride's really good. He's going to be paid pennies on the dollar at the end of the year. Once his contract kicks in, like 2 years from now, I don't see a world where they don't bump it. Just restructure, add more money, and extend him. You want Trey McBride to be the Travis Kelce of the Arizona Cardinals. You do. You don't want him going anywhere, ever. He's really good. Michael Wilson, extend him this offseason. Extend him. He's making just over $1 million last year of his rookie scale deal. Extend him so he doesn't have to hit the open market. Give him his, $40 million guaranteed over 3 years, $45 million guaranteed over 3 years. He deserves it. He just needs a new offense. Cody Simon. I teased a rookie defensive player who played well today. Cody Simon, 15 tackles, had his first sack. The dude's going to be really good. And I think of all of the young players, maybe there's 2, of all the young players who have benefited from injuries, and obviously you don't want anybody ever to get injured. I haven't said that in a while, but obviously. is Cody Simon with Mac Wilson going down. Because it's like, all right, kid, go. Fast lane. Downside hike. Green dot, go. And he's, by and large, been a very stable force in the middle of the defense. He's a rookie, okay? He's gotten burned a couple times real bad. He's missed a couple tackles really badly. But by and large, he's played pretty well. And if you can find a way to put him and Mac Wilson on the field at the same time, even though they technically play the same position, we'll see what happens in camp. I think that defense will be all the better for it. And you give ADG his walking papers, you make him a rotational piece. And then the honorable mention is Denzel Burke. With Garrett Williams going down, even though they don't play exactly the same position, with Max Melton falling out of favor, Denzel Burke has looked he's looked better. He's looked more good than bad this year. He's had his rookie moments. He's had a couple really bad penalties. But as I've said, the worst he looked was during preseason, where it's like, oh boy, bunch of oh-no moments here, not ready yet. So pretty good. The Cardinals have dudes. They've got guys. It's just a matter of putting it all together. I know giving up 37 points isn't the best indicator that a defense is growing. And I'm not saying it's growing. I'm not saying it's getting better. I'm just saying that Cody Simon had a good game. Denzel Burke looked pretty good. And Will Johnson looked good for the most part, aside from just getting burned by Jamar Chase. It's not an original story. I don't think there are any other positives, which is unfortunate. Running game didn't look good. The pass rush got home 3 times. Cody Simon, as I mentioned, had one. Dalvin had his first one as an Arizona Cardinal. Calais got another one. Calais is 1 sack away from another $500K elevator incentive in his contract. So I'm assuming he's going to be playing on Sunday of next week. Marv left the game early. I don't know why he's out there. I don't know why he's out there. If he's not 100%, why is he playing? It's week 17. He's been hobbled pretty much ever since the bye week. And then he obviously had the appendicitis that nobody can control. But I think luckily, and I struggle with this. I think luckily, for the most part, Michael Wilson has shown time and time again that he can produce that way. And he's produced a lot. Good chunk has been in garbage time, okay? So say you take 70% of his numbers since the bye. Just say 70, which is weighted super heavily against what the actual production was. And I'm not saying just the numbers. Obviously, it's 30% less. What I'm saying is, you want to scale for garbage time, which the majority of this season has been garbage time for the Cardinals. Let's be honest. The dude's balled out. He's a dog. You pay him. And you just go get an OC that can highlight 2 wide receivers and a tight end in a run game. It's not like, oh my God, the Cardinals have way too many players to throw to. It's just a bad offense. No. Michael Wilson is going and eating, and Marv is waiting to be fed. And Marv hasn't been healthy. Okay, so you give him, I'm not throwing Marv down because, he's trying to play through injury. You got to give him credit for it. But Michael Wilson, the dog that Michael Wilson has is what everybody wants Marv to have too. Not instead of, in addition to. And it's been difficult to stomach this all year because this was supposed to be the year of the breakout. Okay, so we had the catch against Seattle, the touchdown catch, in week 4 to tie the game in the fourth quarter with, under a minute left. It's like, oh, that's the moment. And then you had the Tennessee catch where he had that touchdown, rolled into the end zone between 2 receivers, between 2 DBs. It's like, oh, it's really starting to come. And then Michael Wilson, ever since the bye week, has been an absolute target monster. He's been getting open. And a lot of those games, like the Jacksonville game and part of the San Francisco game where he put up big numbers, it was way before garbage. There was no garbage time against Jacksonville. He's got these massive numbers. So it's like, what do you do with that? How can you look at something like that, those numbers, and say, this isn't real? Like Christian Kirk got $50 million in, and he never put up anywhere close to numbers that Michael Wilson's doing. And I'll leave you with this. This is your moment of clarity for me after another, whatever you want to call that, loss. For people who are calling for Jonathan Gannon to be fired, and I'm not going to reopen that during a positive segment, I said that he's got coaches, coordinators, and head coaches have gotten fired for significantly less than what Jonathan Gannon has done. On the flip side, the positive side, wide receivers have gotten paid for significantly less than what Michael Wilson is putting out there now. Got to believe it. You got to trust it. Whatever it means for Marvin, it means for Marv. But for Michael Wilson, he should get an extension this offseason. It should be the easiest thing that Monty Osborne has ever done as a GM. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. Remember, without you, there is no me. I'll talk to you tomorrow.